I think it's been rushed. I think that on reflection, I wonder if they should have waited a year and given the Kings and the Cheetahs time to get their Currie Cup commitments over with, put a team together in the Kings' case, build a squad that's actually going to be competitive. Because I think when people heard there were South African teams coming, people's impressions of South African rugby back in Ireland will be of strength, and the two teams, and not everyone will watch Super Rugby on a weekly basis, so not everyone would watch the Cheetahs and the Kings regularly unless they're kind of committed rugby fans who watch more rugby than they probably should. So I think people expected them to be a lot better, which was unrealistic because they haven't been given a chance to adapt. They didn't have pre-season, and it's kind of just been a bit ham-fisted, I think. And for the crowd that was there on Saturday, I think everyone in Europe was quite shocked. Partly because I think the stadium didn't do it any favours because it's just so big, but I think people expected a little bit more interest. So I wonder if the Pro 14 should have just held on a little bit longer. I think everyone's rushing to expand, and there's a good idea behind it. I think it could be a success. I think in time it probably might be a success. I wouldn't go on the record as saying will, because you just don't know, but I think it's been rushed, and I think that it's going to take time, and the problem is the first impressions last. So the 4 games that happened in European soil were all hammerings, and then we came out here. The game on Saturday in Bloemfontein was very entertaining. I watched it, and that was a good game between the Cheetahs and the Zebre, but Zebre are the worst team in the Pro 14 by a mile, and they scored 5 tries. And Leinster were so comfortable on Saturday. They didn't play well, but they won. So I think it's just, it's been rushed, and it could get better. I hope it does, because I think everyone wants it to work, but it's been a difficult start. And I think South Africa is a natural fit for it. And there's always been talk of this happening more with the English, really. And I think if the English were involved, like I'd love to see a British and Irish league with the South Africans in it. An expanded Premiership, effectively, with all the Super Rugby teams from South Africa in with the Irish teams, the Welsh teams, in 2 conferences or something along those lines. The Italians in with the French. Maybe, I don't know what they're going to do with the North Americans, but they're just trying to do all this. Like the Premiership are talking about expanding into America. They're talking about bringing the South African teams into the Anglo-Welsh Cup. I mean, there's no strategy to any of this. It's just a cash grab, really. And I think it could really be brilliant if there was a bit of strategy behind it. It's an amazing place to visit. It's a great place to come on tour. It's a great place to watch rugby. The infrastructure is here, but if you bring teams that nobody knows, you don't sell it at all. The home teams are rubbish because they haven't had time to prepare. Like the Kings have lost their entire squad. The Cheetahs are fighting on 2 fronts, which is unrealistic. I don't think they're giving it a chance to thrive. And the Kings were doing their best, but they've no sponsor, they've no infrastructure behind the scenes to push it. And the crowd was I think, partly as a result of that, partly as a result that nobody knows who the players are. So, you got to give yourself a chance, and I'm not sure Pro 14 is just yet. Hopefully they will in time. But again, you're losing ground, and the more negative stuff there is about it, the less likely people are going to pay whatever money it is to go and see the games.